everybody, it is K.Ho, and we are here driving on Diamond Street, leaving Eureka Valley / going into Noe Valley, and we're going to go see 606 Diamond Street, which is listed with Tim Hawko over at Park North. And Tim's an old school agent who's been around for a very long time. He specializes in trust and estate sales and sometimes probate sales, but every now and then he'll have a new one. But, taking a look at the architecture here, we wanted to give you a little sense of the space. It's a really beautiful neighborhood. We live just back where we just came from, and you can see that, you have really tall, majestic houses, a mix of Queen Anne style, a mix of modern style too. You'll see a lot of projects going under construction around here as well. And we are right here at 21st and Diamond Street, and this is the 400 block. One of the things you'll note around here is that you get dramatic views, and you get also topography that changes, to say the very least. Diamond Street's one of our favorites. It's actually one of the longest streets too. It's funny, a lot of times people think, oh, do you live in Diamond Heights? But no, we don't live in Diamond Heights. We're in Diamond Street, but there are so many parts of Diamond as well. Now this is the 500 block, which is near 23rd and Alvarado, or maybe it was 22nd. And none of these houses, or very few of these houses, have parking spaces, which is kind of funny. I don't know why. It's just sort of how it was, or how it developed over time, I suppose. Now we're actually down towards 23rd and Diamond Street. We are looking for 606, which I believe is right here. So we will go in and go from there. All right. Hello, everybody. We are over here at 23rd and Diamond. We are taking a look at 606 Diamond Street. For those of you who are on my little drive up here, you can see where we're at. Noe Valley is literally right there. That's 24th Street. There's St. Paul's, at least the school, I think. And this is the house. It's a single-family house. It's listed with Tim Hawko over at Park North Real Estate. He's been in San Francisco real estate for a very long time. He often deals with properties that are being sold by trusts or estates, and the properties will be older. And there's a very typical story in San Francisco where years of ownership, people get older, etc., etc. The first thing you notice about this house is that it's cute, sure, but it is completely detached on both sides, and that is amazing. You have parking already, and better yet, it's detached. Did I mention it's detached? That means sound transmission between other people, other houses, and also the ability to put windows in or whatnot too is great. So it's an extra wide lot, which means it's a 3,400 square foot lot, which is pretty amazing. Usually 2,500 is what you get, and now you have 3,400. It's a shorter lot, but it makes up for it in its depth, or its width instead of its depth, that is. So up here you notice that we have the Victorian / Queen Anne style of architectural finishes. You've got the stairs coming up from here, and you've got the older school floorboards. And basically, you should view this as a house that you're going to renovate. There are a lot of things downstairs that are good, things that are bad, things not bad, but things that you need to improve or could improve. And you'll see here these are just cosmetic things. The paint is flaking, cracking. It's been like this for a long time. So coming in here, you've got a really interesting layout. You do have an upper floor. That's an attic, right? Oh, actually not upper floor. It's an attic right now that you could turn into an upper floor. But coming in here first, you've got the cove ceilings here. You've got a kitchen back there, and you've got the living room up here. The ceiling heights are about 10 feet. We measured that earlier. You've got this nice broad window and that really cool magnolia tree in front. I think that's a really nice just a nice effect and good impression. These are, of course, the single pane windows. If you ever need to change them, you'll have to consult the relevant architectural guidelines, because the city has requirements about wood framed windows or whatnot too, but it doesn't really matter because you're going to change them, and somebody will help you do that. So the house is about 22 to 23 feet wide. It's open, broad, but remember what I was saying. Light comes in from 4 different sides. Sorry about that. Yeah, there you go. 4 different sides. That's pretty amazing. Usually you get 2, maybe 3 at most times too. Definitely, you're going to upgrade those windows at time. You see here, they have the old baseboards. There are these oak floors here. This is the intake for the heater. And in fact, this house really does remind me of the house that we bought. And you'll see more in a second. A little closet here. And over here, the light coming in from this side is really nice too. It's a short house. You can see the back already. You got the old school, I think this is it Marin O'Keefe? I'm sure. It is an old school, so yeah, Marin O'Keefe right here. Old school stove. There is an active market for these, so if you do get it, sometimes people keep it, sometimes people auction it off on eBay. The worst thing you could do is just throw it away. It's a pretty cool thing. I mean, people love the vintage. Kitchen's fairly big. There's really not much to be said. It's just big and nice. Back here, this would go out into your backyard. Again, here's the side, and over here, we'll go out here and look at a second. You can see the cobblestones outside for the yard, and it is a relatively short yard. I measured from that little outcrop that we're going to go to the back, and it was 266 inches, which is 20 some odd feet. I can't remember. I leave it like this. You got these old Art Deco sconces. It's pretty as well, but they use this as a bedroom. You've got radiant heat here because I think the house ended here at one point and they added this part, which will become apparent when we go over here. They added a bathroom. Yep, that's exactly right. So they added a bathroom later on. You can see there, that's probably the old exterior. The old exterior clapboards down there, and this goes down to the basement. This was probably sort of the end of the house. And then over here, this is new, where they added a bathroom here, you can see, and that room over there, or maybe not, something like that. Regardless, let's show you this, or maybe they added the bathroom here. This is the backyard. See your neighbor? That was a really nice house over there. Comes back, they have a little deck that goes here. It looks like it's been fairly new. But take a look back here, you've got a nice big yard. I like the picket fences on both sides, actually. But yeah, it's rather, the yard's a little bit shorter because you are on the corner, because that means these people get their they get a really long, deep lot. But again, it's plenty sufficient for most people's, I think for most people's needs. So take a look here. So, important when you evaluate these things, what is the potential? Ooh, nice lemon trees here. But over here you see that your neighbor here is taller than you, and your neighbor there is taller than you. And you can see, way up there, you can see the parapet of the house. Basically, it's kind of like a saloon, like a big set of bangs or something hanging in the front. A lot of times, people can add the box or dormers or add something back here where they actually take advantage of this space. That's the important thing, too. And that's where people start evaluating, hey, is it worth it? What am I going to do? All that good stuff here. But nice in terms of access, in terms of foundation, in terms of upgrading. It is a big foundation, which we'll see. But you are detached from your neighbors. So doing this work is a heck of a lot easier than having to coordinate being right next to your neighbor here. So that's a pretty cool advantage there. This is your main stack, at least part of it, which is the main sewer line that goes down towards Diamond Street. And you can see here, it's just nice space here. Now, whether you can fill in this space or not, you would probably definitely have to consult the architect, an architect, or even a land use attorney or whatnot, because there are stringent requirements, for people doing these types of different things. However, you have a lot of space, and so it would require a lot of, I think, some neighborhood notification, which basically means your neighbors get a comment, you have to produce plans, and you'd have to redo a foundation. But, speaking of that, we're going to go inside and take a look at the foundation as well. But yeah, it's a nice feeling. It's quiet, it's protected. Nice lemon tree. I keep the lemon tree and see what you could do. Maybe you could do some landscaping around it, whatnot. Oh, and let me do this. Let me show you the other side before I forget. So this is the other side, completely detached. Amazing. In case you didn't notice, amazing. Now, if you wanted to do something where you said, I'm going to make this into 2 units, or I'm going to add an ADU or whatnot, the city might give you more space to build into or whatnot. Trying to solve the housing crisis or the density issue is something that the city really does like to do. you would have a second entrance because of that sign part there too. And so anyway, let's go back through here. So remember we had this little anteroom here, and we're leaving the bathroom, I'll show you this part too before I go down. The kitchen, and then behind there is the bedroom. I think this is a small bedroom of some kind. This goes back into the dining room. And just to give you a sense of orientation, there's the front entry lobby. And again, the living room. Old fireplace, decorative, boarded up. If you want to get up to the ceiling, if you want to get up to the attic, it looks like they had some little steps here, or stair steps or something here. It's just an attic, really low slung, it's unfinished. Again, it's not really a question about can you use the attic as is, it's a question of how can you expand the space and utilize more of it if you wanted to. Now let's go down to the basement. So, the basement, let's see, did I turn the lights? There we go. The basement is filled with stuff. So I think, there's a long life that was lived here, and then, they passed on, and you've just got a lot of just, artifacts from life. You've got a blower over there. We have that blower. You have just random furniture. But looking over here, you see the old school foundation. It's a really beefy and chunky foundation. It's kind of funny, you see this old door here, but you see it has some stair stepping, which means it's doing some work in terms of retaining the grade, because it does get smaller over there. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you can or not. And it gets bigger behind us. So that's good, because it allows you to have let me see if I can do this. It allows you to have the space for a garage up front. So let me see if I can give you some flashlight in there. Let's keep walking forward, or back towards the front of the house. You notice there's more headroom here. This is the side here. So a nice thing you can do here is that if you were to put rooms down here, usually it feels subterranean or it's dark or whatnot. I mean, you get a fair amount of light from here, even reflected from the neighbor's house here. You can see parts of the foundation. So it looks like what they did, like some parts here looks like it's concrete, but a lot of times what they would do is they would put concrete over the brick, so sort of skim coat it. So there would be a little bit of, how do I say this? There'd be a little bit of, see here, protection. So it has some quality here. But going back towards here, this is the front sort of area. So car park here, garage here. Clearly you're going to have to replace the garage door. And here we're underneath the steps. Gas meters up front here. The nice thing is that there is a really good water supply coming in. You can see it is a copper supply, or brass supply, copper supply, and it's fairly big. It looks like it's an inch in diameter, which is always good here too. So here you have this area. It's pretty tall. There's a pretty tall head height here. You've got some of the old, sort of the existing posts and joists. And then here you kind of see up front the block sort of, I'm not sure how they did that. Maybe they expanded this, they added it here too, but there's a little thing here, which I'll tell you more in a second. And then back here, this is the bottom of that fireplace. At least I think it was a fireplace. That might have been up there. Again, the foundation goes this way. So I do have a flashlight, and we will take a look back here. So this, I don't know if you can see it. You can see the foundation here, it's brick, and it does shrink up a good amount. You see if you can see that over here. You've got the old cast iron tub. Ooh, a treasure chest maybe. And you've got the stairs that we came down on. And you've just got this area here. So, does a brick foundation mean, oh no, what's going on with that? I used to think that, but our house has, or had, a brick foundation. And a lot of times structural engineers can figure out what you can do with that to minimize the risks that people would have during an earthquake or feel. And a lot of it involves shear wall, and the shear walls, moment frames, steel, concrete, reinforcing engineered lumber, and reinforcing certain points of a building so that it can distribute the weight and the impacts of an earthquake or whatnot. Those are seriously questions that an architect or a structural engineer need to answer. But what they could do, and they'll look at the existing structure, they'll be like, hey, look at this. There is something here. So maybe they'll put a steel cage here, a steel beam here. Maybe they'll put a beam down this way too. Engineers will really vary as to what they can do. The question for you is whether or not you want to dig down, excavate. Usually, excavating has and runs the risk of undermining your neighbor's foundation. I mean, look at their foundation. It's concrete, pretty robust, but it's separated. That's the thing. Having the ability to do this foundation over again, to do it easily because you're separated from both sides. I cannot stress how that really changes the dynamic of this house. You can actually make this into a livable space. You could try to go up. You could try to do whatnot. It is a smaller lot depth-wise, but it is wide, and that width does help people a lot too. A lot of times we say to people, if you have a house that's more than 25 feet wide, people often don't know what to do with it because it's actually kind of, suburban or normal. Or that's normal. Who knows if normal or not is the right word. But it allows you flexibility. And in this case, it allows you to reinforce the foundation, strengthen it so you can go up, strengthen it so you can go down or excavate. It really does change the dynamics and change the costs that much more in your favor. Now, Tim's listed this at a very aggressive price at $1,128. I can see why he did, because, it's in line with where it should be. There is work to be done, but it's not like it's totally crazy or whatnot. It could be a substantial one, but you could end up with a really beautiful house. 24th Street is just over there. That's just Elizabeth there, and you're just close to everything. Because you're at Diamond, you get to Noe, and then you get to Sanchez. You have all the businesses that you'd expect to find, and the amenities. You have the school right over here. You've got charming architecture and neighbors across the way, and you've just got, a really cool opportunity. And maybe you could even have views if you went up. So that's 23rd Diamond at 606 Diamond. This is, of course, K.Ho. Thank you for watching. Sorry if I prattled on for a little longer, but I'm pretty excited about this one. It's a neat one. Let us know if you have any questions. And of course, check more videos out on our YouTube channel and visit our website, kevinandjonathan.com. And we'll see you at the next one. All right, take care, everybody.